G'day folks, Lone Mojo here. In this video, I'm going to be looking at a tech sniper build for Cyberpunk 2077. The idea of this build is that we're going to be crafting some tech weapons, both sniper and precision rifles. Tech weapons can be charged up to shoot through walls and do a ton of damage, but they do become a bit unstable. Now, as far as which weapon to use for this build, you're going to want to craft your weapon because you'll get a bonus to damage from the skill trees. I would like to craft a breakthrough rifle, but unfortunately I missed components I needed for it, so instead I've gone for a Nekomata sniper rifle. For the secondary weapon, I just picked up an Achilles precision rifle. It's not a crafted one. You really want to be crafting if you can for this build to get the bonus, but this one still does the job nicely for me. In terms of mods, you're going to be looking at anything that will increase damage or crit chance. In this one, I've got a crunch and a pacifier mod, and I've also got a countermass, which will help with the horizontal swing. Now, there is a mod that you can get called Vendetta, which will give you bonus to headshot damage. If you can get it, this is fantastic. However, it is very rare. And when I went looking for it in my game, I'd already done the activity to unlock it, so I couldn't get it. With Cyberware, there's a bunch of different options that you can look at as well. Anything to give you bonus damage is great. So I've got the Limbic System Enhancement, which will give you crit chance. We've also got Heal on Kill, which is great. Every time you kill an enemy, it's going to get a little bit of health back. In the ocular systems, I go for a Corrosion Optic. If you can get level 3, it's fantastic. At this stage, I've only got a level 2, but it's still good enough. And as far as mods go, for this one, I'll take the Trajectory Analysis. This will give you a bonus headshot damage. And I'll also grab the Weak Shot Detection mod, which will give you another bonus to your crit chance. In the circulatory systems, the feedback circuit is really good for this mod. You'll get a bonus 6% health back every time you discharge a fully charged weapon, which we're going to be doing fairly regularly. And I really like getting the optical camo. This gives you a bit of an out, and that can be really handy with this build. Sometimes you're going to get overwhelmed if you're not careful. So this gives you a nice little escape option. Most of the other Cyberware I've got here is left over from other builds, so I won't go into them, but you can chop and change this stuff around. Really, it's just all about getting that crit damage and headshot damage. So with the ability points, you can see I've maxed out Reflex and Tech, and I put a bunch of ability points into Cool as well. So let's dive into the main skill tree, which is Tech. In the first one, we've got Crafting. We're going to be trying to craft our own weapons just because we get some bonuses here. So let's have a look. So first up, we've got True Craftsman, and this is just going to let you craft rare items. Grease Monkey will let you craft epic items. Now, Cutting Edge is where we start to see the real benefits of this tree. You're going to get improved damage and all damage related stats on crafted weapons by 5%. So you're just going to get a little bit more juice out of those guns. Likewise, Field Technician will give us an extra 10% damage on all crafted weapons. Mechanic is pretty straightforward. You gain more components when you disassemble something. Edge Runner Artisan is going to let you build those legendary items. The tune-up's really handy, especially as you're leveling up. It's going to let you upgrade really low quality components into better quality ones, meaning you're less reliant on drop rates to get the things you need. And Scrap is just going to let you disassemble junk items to get some more components. Okay, so over on the engineering tab, we have, first of all, Gun Whisperer. Fully charged tech weapons do not shoot automatically. This means you can hold your shot until you want to take it. Lickety Split means that the charge time for a tech weapon is reduced by 20%, which means you're going to get that maximum capacity damage much quicker. Superconductor means tech weapons just simply ignore armor, which is great. Up to 11. So by default, a tech weapon can only be charged to, I think, 75% of its maximum capacity. By getting up to 11 maxed out, you can go all the way to 100%. Tesla increases the charge multiplier for tech weapons by 55%, so again, more damage output. Fuck All Walls reduces the amount of charge time you need to penetrate a wall. So you're going to be doing a lot of standing behind walls, shooting through them, and this really helps get through that a lot more quickly. And finally, Uber Charge means your tech weapons will do an extra 30% more damage when they're at full charge. Next up, we'll look at the Reflex trees, and we'll look at the Assault tree specifically. First up, we have Named Bullets. It's going to increase your rifle damage by 20%. Bullseye will increase your damage while aiming by 10%. We're not going to be doing much hip firing, hopefully, so this is going to be pretty universal for us. Likewise, Trench Warfare will increase your damage by 10% when you're firing from behind cover, which we're going to want to do as much as we can. Savage Stoic is another bonus to damage, this time by 35% when you're standing still, so we're going to be doing that a lot as well. Shoot, reload, repeat will give us a little buff after we kill someone, and our weapon reload time will reduce by about 40%. Bullet Jock's pretty straightforward, increased damage with rifles. Recoil Wrangler will help us with the recoil reduction. Nerves of Steel will give us bonus headshot damage with both sniper rifles and precision rifles, so both of our weapon types. Covering Kill Shot will increase the critical chance of rifles when being fired from behind cover. That's where we're going to be spending our time, so that's a no-brainer as well. Executioner does 25% more damage with rifles when the enemy is above 50% health. We're going to be aiming for as many one-shot kills as we can, so this is going to trigger pretty regularly. And lastly, we have Long Shot, where you're just going to do more damage the further you are from enemies. Really useful for a sniper rifle. Okay, moving over to the cool skill tree, and let's take a look at Ninjutsu. From the Shadows is going to give you a 20% increased crit chance for 7 seconds when you first start combat. Sniper means your headshots outside of combat will do 20% as well, so that's going to tie really nicely with From the Shadows. Crouching Tiger means that your movement speed when you're sneaking is increased, so that's really good for getting you into positions more quickly. Strike from the Shadows will give you a bonus 7% crit chance, which again ties in with all of the other sneaking we're going to be doing. And the last one is Assassin, which is just going to let you do an extra 15% damage to all humans. This is a pretty good skill to get no matter what your build is, really. And lastly, let's take a look at Cold Blood. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I really like this skill in general. The way it works is whenever you defeat an enemy, you're going to get a Cold Blood stack, and you can get up to 3 of these. Each stack is going to give you an increase in movement speed, but we're going to do some shenanigans with other skills here to get more benefits and bonuses from it. First up, Cold and Calculating means that we will have a chance to apply a Cold Blood stack, even if we don't kill, so long as we got a critical hit. Probably not as vital on this build, but it is nice to have. Coagulant means that your stacks of Cold Bloods will be removed one by one, not all at once, so this is going to extend the buff that you get from it. Icy Veins is going to help us with our recoil, reducing it by 6% per stack of Cold Blood that we've got. Coldest Blood is going to increase our max stack of Cold Blood from 3 to 5. Critical Condition means that your stacks of Cold Blood will last for 50% longer. And finally, Frozen Precision will increase the headshot damage by 5% per stack of Cold Blood. So at max stacks, that's 25% bonus headshot damage. So let's take a look at the build in action.
You're fucked.
This is a really fun build to play. There's something nice about sitting behind cover quite safely while shooting through it to kill people. However, it does require probably the most skill out of all the builds that I've done so far to execute. Really, to get the value out of it, you need to be getting headshots fairly regularly, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So making sure you've got your optical camouflage available to reposition yourself is handy. So let me know what you think of the build, and if you've got any suggestions on how to improve it, pop it in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video and you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That'd be really helpful. And until next time, take care.